And the problem is that so instead of sending, so here we need to send variable using single quotes, not the dollar sign. So I made a mistake, so sorry for this mistake. So now if we refresh the page, so we don't have anything. Okay, so let's move to our index. Where is it? Index page, so this one. So let's use also, or let's copy from here and paste here inside index. So here we have the closing for this div, and we need also for this one, and we need an end for this section. So for the title, let's change it to QR codes. So here we have the content, and let's keep it same thing. Let's change it to, instead of 6, let's change it to call MD 12. So let's do something. Let's bring so what we have done here, so this link. So later we will update this home page. So the home page will display only the navbar with a message telling the user to register or to log in to use our services. So this link that we have here, so we don't need it here. So let's copy this div, and later we will add content for our home page. So let's paste everything now here inside index page of the QR codes. And now we can display our QR code. So let's refresh the page first and see what we have here. So we have the title and we have the link. So let's add the table. So as I told you, you can use the extension to add a table. So let's see here. Let's use default table. So table responsive, let's make it bordered, and let's give it border of dark. And we have the first column. So the first column, let's make it content. And we have the second. Let's make it QR code. And finally, we have the action. So next, what we need, let's remove this extra tr, and we need only one. So using, or we can now, but before we do that, let's first check if we have QR codes. So let's test if QR codes counts, which means that the user has QR codes or has already created some QR codes. So if yes, we will use for each loop to loop through each QR code. So QR codes, and here we need QR code, and we can paste now here. So let's remove this class from here and remove this scoop also from here. So now we have the QR code. So the first thing we need to do is to display, as I said, the content. So QR code content. And next, what we need, so we need the path, and path, so we need to display it using an image tag. So we have image, and let's use source, and here, so let's use instead of, so let's use asset, and where is it? So we need only this one. So we need to get the QR code, QR, so I think we have underscore here, and code, and path, okay? So the image, so let's give it an alt, or the alt we can use, so let's use the content, And what else we have? So let's use also, so let's give it also a class. Let's give it img fluid and margin bottom of 1. So what else we need? Let's give it also width, and width let's give it 60, and height also 60. So what else we need? So we need here the link so we can edit and download. So for now, let's refresh and see what we have here. So we have here the QR codes. So we have the contents, the QR code, and action. And as you can see, we can't see the QR code. Why? Because we did not link storage to our public folder. So let's do something. Let's add another terminal and run the command, which is php artisan storage and called link. So let's see. So now we are done. So let's refresh the page and see. So now we will, so it's not working yet. So let's see what we have here. So what is the problem? So let's see, where is the, so what is the path here? So the path is not working. So I think the path is not working. So here we are inside asset, and asset, so we give it the QR code and QR code path. So why it's not working? So I think it needs to work. So let's see why it's not working. So it's not working. So as you can see here, so the QR code is empty. So I am displaying here the QR code and action, as you can see here. So inside this column, so it's empty. So we don't have a QR code path. So why we don't have the QR code path? So here inside store, so when we store the user, so I forgot. So here I have just called the function which is to save QR code, and I give the QR code path generates the path, but I did not call. So sorry for this mistake. So I did not call save here. So that's why. So we need to call the QR code save again. So to save the new updated QR code path, and same thing here when we update. Okay. So let's do something before we test again. Let's remove the user. So we have already created a user. So now we can use one here instead. So we have user with ID 1. So now we are okay. So let's see. So we will update this one later. So let's try now to create a new one and see what will happen. So let's hit create QR code and see what we have. So let's fill the form, hit submit. So as you can see, QR code saved successfully. We have here now the path, and we have the QR code, as you can see here. Okay. So now we have fixed this problem. So let's remove it from here. So we need links so we can edit, delete, and download. So let's add first link. The first link, let's make it for download, and we can give it same thing as we have done with image here. So let's copy and paste here. And for the, so we can add also, okay, let's first add the class. So here let's add class which is btn, btn sm, btn dark, and we need also another property here which is, or another attribute which is download. So we can download the file that we have here. Okay. And what else we need? We need the icon. So the icon, let's change it to download. So since we are downloading, and that's all. Okay. So refresh and see what we have here. So as you can see, we have the two buttons. So here I cannot download because we don't have this image, but if I click here, so as you can see, it's downloaded. Okay. So you have the QR code here downloaded. So we need now to add the other links for editing and deleting. Let's see what we have here. So let's do something. So here we have, okay, we have th. Okay, so we can keep it here td. Okay, let's move to the next. So the next is the edit link. So the edit link will take us to the route, which is QR codes dot edit, and we need to provide QR code that we want to edit or to update. Okay, so here we don't need this download. So for the button, let's make it button warning. And also we need an icon. Let's change it to edit. Okay, so save, refresh the page. So for now we don't have the edit form yet, so we will display only the link, and later we will add the edit. So let's move to the next. Next is delete. So for the delete here we need a form, so instead of a link, so the form that will take us to the routes that we have already defined. So let's add a form, and form will take us to the route, which is destroy, QR code destroy, and we send QR code. So here the method is post, but we need here token, and we need also to override the method using the method here and change it to delete. So we are deleting. Okay, so we need also to give this form an ID, and the ID needs to be dynamic, and to use dynamic ID, so let's give it the ID of, or the QR code ID. Okay, so now the ID is dynamic, so now we can use it to delete this QR code. And now once we click, let's move to our app.blade.php. So here we have the delete item, which is the function that we talked about in the previous lecture. So here we need to call it. Okay, and to call it, so here once we click on link, so we call it and we give it the ID. Okay, which is the ID of, so we need here the curly braces, which is the ID of the QR code, and also the ID of the form. And using this ID, so once we click on the link, so we get ID and we submit the form using this ID. Okay, so let's refresh the page and see. So let's change also the icon. So I did not change the icon. Where is the index page? So here, let's change it to danger. And also here from edit to trash. Save, refresh the page. So let's try to remove this one that doesn't have QR code. So as you can see, the message appears. If we cancel, so nothing happened. If we click on yes, delete it, we will submit the form and QR code deleted successfully. Okay, and here we have only one. So now we are done. So we need also to check for the else. So here we are checking if the QR code exists, but we need also to check if we don't, or the user did not add any QR code. So we need to check for it. And also we need to display the pagination links before we move to the edit. Okay,